Welcome, Acolytes. Today I am reacting to a video from Ref says desu, again, the man himself. Feminist VTubers very mad at me. Probably not the first one, not the last one. And for F's sake, even I got in beef with one. So it's not even that special, but it's still interesting. And my beef was very short. I basically ignored the guy, so there it is. But let's just see what he has to say about this entire thing. I am quite well, let us say, interested.
Hey, what's up guys, Rip here. So it appears some people are not happy about my video from yesterday, including one particular VTuber who decided to have a full-fledged public meltdown over what she perceived as the message of that video. Now, for context, before we get into everything, here is the video. It's very straightforward. Marvel Rivals came out with some previews of the Sue Storm design, as well as the Malice skin that comes with it. Obviously, a lot of people really enjoy the appealing designs, but
no shit. Yes. More of the left one, please. Well, except I want to have something to left and more of the right one. I mean, that's funny. It ran a joke right now, but hey.
Also, as I pointed out in my video, some people did not, including some Redditors, some Concord players, as well as some feminists on Reddit. And to prove that latter part, I used this post on Reddit from a subreddit that is frequented by feminists that was saying things like that this is a gooner skin, that it's ugly, and so on and so forth. And of course, this post would get a good amount of traction. Despite being controversial and getting a lot of downvotes, it ended with 624 upvotes before the post was deleted by the person who originally posted it. So I guess that's a W for us. But anyways, here is the VTuber who was very upset about my video, as well as Hero Hayes' video on the similar subject. And this VTuber Nemo says this: "When will the incel clickbaiting end? Every feminist I know likes the new skins, but incels would have you believe every female Rivals player is foaming at the mouth over sexy skins, when who do you think is going to be buying the skin for strategists? My lord, another day of being subjected to the most inbred opinions of all time. Tragic." Well,
I have to throw something in. It's probably not what Ref's gonna say. But, interestingly enough, if you are a fan of fighting games, sexy skins are more often than not banned because they distract. Yes, that's actually a thing that exists, and I was freaking shocked to know about. So much to the strategy part. It still has something to do with gooning, but it's a strategy that actually freaking works. So yeah.
There's a lot to break down with this original post. There's obviously some things that are completely missing the point. Number one, beginning with the incel clickbaiting phrase here. I had not heard of that until today, and honestly, it sounds like something a feminist would come up with. On top of that, they try to say that, oh, every feminist I know likes it. Well, the feminists I saw don't, so what are you trying to prove here? On top of that, she tries to basically conflate my use of the term feminist with all female Rivals players, which is not what I was doing. I was pointing out to specific feminists on Reddit, and I was not saying women at large don't like these designs. In fact, this sort of logic is exactly what I use to criticize feminists who might be complaining about appealing designs. I come back saying, well, you may feel that way and you might be loud about it, but a lot of women like these appealing designs. So that's clearly not what I was doing in my video. And also ending this whole thing by calling me and Hero Hay inbred opinions. What an amazing self-own, because these screenshots...
Wait, give me a second. Because I still have to answer this one. At the end of the day, those groups, like feminism, tries to enhumber everything. So if you hear someone actually saying, yeah, all women are feminists, no, that's bullshit. First of all. You, of course, if you're a woman and you're a feminist, you're a feminist. Female feminist. If you're a woman, you don't automatically become a feminist just because you exist. I think this is logical for most of you acolytes. I assume this. But a lot of people actually try to argue in this kind of mindset. And at the end of the day, it's bollocks. But this is something that you actually can maybe even observe in your real life in other groups, maybe in work groups. Try to spot it and just do a little experiment.
Are clearly from the front page of YouTube, your front page recommendations, which, by the way, YouTube recommendations, especially front page stuff, is the biggest echo chamber there is out there.
Yep.
That makes sense financially for YouTube because they want to show you videos that you're going to click on.
Correctly.
Videos that contain opinions you agree with. They don't want to turn you off with conflicting opinions or videos that might offend you or annoy you, or at the very least you won't click on because it's not in their financial interest to do so. So to have a fresh Rev video and a fresh Hero Hey video on the same subject popping up on your feed, well, that tells me you likely watch these inbred opinions, at least people who share the opinions of us, or you might watch us directly. Otherwise, this would never happen. And if you don't like what we're saying, as people suggested in the replies, click the not interested or don't recommend this channel options for YouTube, which, man, that would save a lot of people frustration. But instead, of course, they like to go to Twitter and complain about my videos because that's the only way they can get attention. And I'll talk about that subject later, right? That doing these posts like we just saw actually help channels like mine and Hero Hey grow. But I'll talk about that at the end of the video. And you can see her response to this thing on Twitter. There should be an option to click not interested in this tweet. That way you don't have to see that kind of content. You don't have to reply to tweets you don't like. Hope this helps. So you can see the mocking tone and the passive-aggressive nature and the hypocrisy already. That's going to be a very common theme. Now, here's where things get interesting. So my wife...
Before he starts right now, I just seen this. Nemo Nevermore. Nemo, if you see this, by some kind of freak accident, you little effed up goblin, don't take the proud words nevermore in your filthy effed up mouth. Please, if you have any kind of dignity in your fucked up little head, take the nevermore out. Nevermore is a collection of, or is a word that has way more significance than you can imagine, especially in a goth or darker community, or for human beings like me that like the dark stuff. And then people like you, little emos, just come in, and I don't want to insult emos, but it is what it is, and just take the fun out of it. People like you took Warhammer, The Witcher, from me, and now you're taking literature. F off.
Wife, Darling Straub, she woke up this morning and chose violence. She decided to respond to this post, ratioing the original poster in her own tweet, saying this: but there were feminists on Reddit that were mad. There are people mad about these types of skins in games. Sorry, but making a good thumbnail that people click on isn't a crime. If you don't like it, maybe just press uninterested and move on with your day. A completely rational and fair thing to say, okay? But Nemo would reply saying, the people who are mad are such a small minority that it's wild to make incel clickbait titles / thumbnails raging against the hecking feminazis like it's 2014 or 2025. I don't know. So right off the bat, again, a lot to say here. I don't believe this was a small minority or an insignificant amount of people saying these things. That post had over 600 upvotes. There were other posts from that same subreddit also complaining about it. There were people on Twitter complaining about it. There were a lot of people complaining about it. And the ones I focused on for brevity's sake was that one post, which was clearly made by someone who is a feminist, or at the very least giving off very strong feminist behavior. And we'll talk about that phrase in just a little bit. But again, we've been seeing these complaints from feminists about appealing character designs for decades. So I think it is significant at any time when you see this. We've seen this happening ever since Bayonetta was introduced, when Lara Croft was introduced. Feminists have been attacking attractive character designs forever, and I think it's relevant to talk about it at any point. But on top of that, like, did feminists just like disappear in 2014? They're trying to say, like, what is this, 2014? Did like feminists stop existing or having opinions? Like, I'm allowed to talk about feminists on my YouTube channel whenever I want. And also what she's doing here with the way I talk about feminists and categorizing in a certain way, she's doing the exact same thing with incels and just doesn't see the irony there. And also implying that, like, with the incel clickbait, do you think like every person who watches my videos are incels? Like, that video has over 100K views. You think over 100K incels came together to watch this video? It's like an incel meetup or something. It's a lot of copium, okay? I already know it's like a lot of copium to call the person who disagrees with you an incel, but now we're going a step further and saying everyone who supports you is also an incel. That is some amazing levels of cope. But Strawblood replies saying, I don't look at it as incel clickbait. LOL, that's not even what an incel is. I just feel like if content isn't for you, it isn't for you. Why are you so upset about these videos? Truly, I do not understand why you're upset someone makes a video about something that happened.
I have to interject here with a small thing that you... because I just seen it. He actually liked the post. Just for something you can look at in between.
Fair point again. But Nemo responds by saying, making fun of a small minority of women, labeling them all as feminist derogatory, isn't incel behavior? I guess I have a fundamental misunderstanding of the term. Yes, you do. And then she says, it's okay, he's getting that bag. Good for him. I'm just calling it what it is. Yeah, that's definitely, you're definitely very happy for me. I can see you're totally being honest when you say that.
Shining.
But anyways, there's a lot, again, to point out here. So she's basically saying incel behavior, what she determines as incel behavior, justifies the label of itself. You know what I mean? So if you're criticizing me for the use of feminist in the title, which, by the way, I was talking about feminists, I wasn't saying all women, couldn't I just use your logic to say they have feminist behavior, therefore I'm justified in using the label, right? And on top of that, like, if we're talking about feminist behavior, ding, 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 ding. I'm seeing a lot right here. I mean, let's face it, right? Like the passive-aggressive tone, labeling all men who disagree with you as incels, also attacking and tearing down women the second they challenge you. And in this case, we'll see in a little bit, calling them pick-me's, which is like right out of the feminist playbook, okay? But anyways, this is where things will start to get pretty weird, okay? So I decided to reply, just one reply here, saying, found out today I'm an incel. Right? Just making a little goof about the situation, where this Nemo person would respond with a reply that would actually get visibility limited by X. I've only seen this when people are like dropping like the hard R. Okay, so that's how unhinged this post was. So she says this: you may get your D wet, so you aren't an incel. Congrats, but you are encouraging incel tards to rally against hecking feminazis in the year of our Lord and Savior 2025 because like 4 people on Reddit don't like seeing ass when the vast majority don't give a shit and even like it. That's it.
Yep.
Okay, so again, immediately trying to miscategorize what I'm talking about by saying only 4 people on Reddit saw it. We know a lot of people saw this opinion and supported what these feminists were saying. But we got to talk about this first part right here because this is pretty gross, dude. So you say this, you want to look at what incel behavior looks like? Here it is. This is something an actual incel would say when arguing with a married couple. That is unhinged. And I am not going to overlook the double standards here because if I said a similar comment to her, the entire VTubing scene would come raining down on me, calling me a misogynist and a creep and all these things. But in this case,
Ref, you're over-dramatizing this. I think that, yes, a large part of the VTubing community would come under you, or some of them at least, but I think the majority would just let you in peace. Because from what I seen, or at least the people that I actually watched, communicated with, or just looked up some tweets, they are normal human beings. They are definitively normal human beings. This wouldn't be even like in the top 10.
Just gets a pass because, she's angry about a conversation about skins in a video game. And overall, like, this is important too, because it'll come up later. This is when my wife blocked you, by the way, because she didn't enjoy seeing a sexual comment being made to her husband while she was also tagged in this reply. Because this is a very unhinged thing to say to anyone. You really talk to strangers like this, including ones you know are married, and again, with their wife being tagged in the reply. This is insane behavior. It's gross. It's a weird comment. And the fact that this is immediately where you go in the conversation really shows a lot about you. But anyways, we continue on. My wife says, I personally think you're overthinking things, LOL, but FYI, Rev isn't an incel, pretty sure. I mean, I am married to the guy, so unless the definition has changed, where she says, I'm saying he's making incel clickbait title/thumbnails. I'm not overthinking. I'm tweeting my opinion on 2 back-to-back video recommendations I got on twitter.com. Good luck with your marriage, sister. Again, super passive-aggressive energy, and she would get absolutely exposed. This is... I haven't seen a instant destruction of a point like this. A complete hypocrisy. So Straub says, dang, do you really wish me luck? I just got this in my DMs. And this is from Nemo's private account. As this is all unfolding, she said this on her private account, hiding in the shadows here, saying, was going to reply with, hope he picks you, and then realized he actually did, which is why she's on the incel defense force. Oh no, hope it gets better. So this is a classic, again, feminist move, calling a woman who disagrees with you a pick-me. And again, it just comes through so clearly. And also the fact that you didn't have the guts to say this on your main show. You said that weird comment we just looked at, that weird sexual comment directed towards me. You had no problem saying that, but you were too afraid to say this one that you had to say it on your private account, which, by the way, got leaked, which is hilarious because the people that you trust to be on your private account don't even like you. That's hilarious. On top of that, again, calling her a pick-me, she got picked. She got picked by me. And from my own experience, the only people who ever start calling married women pick-me's, typically those are the people who are unpicked, and they're just seething in jealousy over that fact.
And it will stay
But anyways,
this way, so
that would be the final reply right here, where she said, I got unblocked for this, mind blown, where Straub says, don't worry, I'm reblocking you. Just wanted everyone to see how truly insane you look. Mission accomplished. Perfect. So this was a whole mess for absolutely no reason. And of course, as soon as these sorts of situations start unfolding, you see the cope and the attempts for clout chasing, all this stuff. Immediately tweeting this after that series of interactions, saying, engagement baiting YouTubers when you tell them they're engagement farming nothing burgers to pay the bills. Well, it may be a nothing burger to you because you choose to classify it as that. That was not a nothing burger situation. A lot of people were talking about it.
Let's just see this. It is the first hour where Rev posted this. 18k views. Well, definitively not nothing.
On top of that, these people, they used engagement baiting just like grift, right? Pretty much anything that is appealing or getting attention of a lot of people is engagement baiting. When in reality, this is just an interesting topic for my community. My thumbnail and my title, there's nothing that is engagement baiting about. It's just interesting. That's the whole point of a thumbnail and title. You want to make it appealing to people. And in this case, it was a very appealing topic. I didn't have to really sensationalize anything. It's just already interesting in and of itself.
I mean, Rev is a bit dishonest here. The title is clickbaity. I don't think it's bad, but it is clickbaity. As I said, I don't care about it. It's fine.
But anyways, we'll see some more replies here. This one I found very interesting. So they say, this person says, we know people like you. You don't want people to know how deep the problem runs in the gaming industry because you are a feminist. You want to bury it. Then you can say something.
True.
It didn't happen after enough time has passed. Where Nemo says, my brother in Christ, I like the Coomer skins. I'm not afraid to call Coomer skins Coomer skins. And I'm sure as hell not going to act like 4 disgruntled Redditors are going to impact the gaming industry in any meaningful way. Again, trying to downplay the amount of people who share that opinion about the skins. But this is the point.
Yeah, but Concord
If she actually watched the video, which I'm guaranteeing she didn't, I talk about this whole label people have been giving designs and skins like that. They see an attractive or an appealing one, or even one with a little bit of sexuality to it, and they call it gooner skins or coomer skins. Can we just call them appealing designs instead of using this obnoxious Zoomer language? Like, it's very annoying to see. Like, I think people have a right to say, that sounds really dumb. Can't you just call them skins without having these annoying phrases attached to them? Also, there'd be another interesting post here where someone quoted says the blue checkmark user, referring to her, and then she replies saying, 32 years old, following 5,000 people. How about you engage with some real human beings before replying to me? I find this very odd because are they implying like 32 is embarrassing or something? Like, way to alienate your potential audience, because a lot of VTuber fans are in their 30s. And also, like, I don't know if you've ever been around like a normie, right? Like someone who's not a content creator. It's very common for like a normie person to be following thousands of accounts. The only reason I don't follow more accounts on my main Twitter account is because I just want to keep my stuff curated and neat. I follow a few hundred just content creators and news sources and things like that, just to keep my...
by the way, and if you want my X account, Twitter account, it's down there. I post really, really seldomly. Like, it's not a lot of my personal stuff, but what I do is retweet really nice art, or at least dark art that I actually quite like. So if you're interested in that and having like some art in it, and I'm also chatting with fans, so there's that. Or with acolytes, sorry, I forgot, lost my role for a bit there. Forget it, acolytes, you know what I meant.
Feed with things I want to see, and also some news and other stuff I might actually cover in a video. But she didn't feel like this was enough, and would eventually make another tweet saying ? Showing that this person was following them, as they said these insults are really boring, referring to constantly calling everyone incels. So the guy just goes, okay, I unfollowed. The insult was still boring. Like, what does this prove? Like, I don't know. Like, I guess it's a good thing, right? When people who follow you will also disagree with you when you're doing something stupid. Like, isn't that supposed to be a good thing? But overall, she would also make this reply saying, yes, I am pointing and laughing at YouTubers mauling at 3 people on Reddit.
It's getting
you seem so
less
unbothered. Yeah, we're mauling so hard right now, and you're just calm, cool, and having a good time, and definitely not seething, especially like how we saw on your private account, which she's having a breakdown and trying to find out the leaker on the private account, which is really funny. But I want to go back to this whole situation here. If I can get the right damn tab. Here's the whole thing with posts like this. I hinted at this earlier. The people who make these, they're so undisciplined and they're so just desperate for attention on Twitter. They don't realize these posts actually help channels like mine, channels like Hero Hey, because when they tweet crying about our videos, there's posts like this daily for myself, and I would imagine Hero Hey as well, where someone takes a screenshot of one of our videos and complains about it, gets all angry, and it results in just more engagement for our videos, which helps us in the algorithm even more. It's not going to make or break your channel, but it's definitely an enhancement, because when you make tweets like this, all it does is introduce this content to possibly some indifferent parties who don't know who we are, and they might go and check out these videos and might end up liking them, or you show it to people who were never going to support us in the first place, and out of that situation, they might actually go to the video, give it a hate watch, give it a hate comment that's buried under hundreds of positive ones, and then help give more engagement to the video, helping it out in the algorithm. People will never realize this. That's why I don't really care if people make these. I can still clown on them for even more content. It's just like a never-ending cycle of helping out channels like my own. And these people are so lacking in self-awareness and critical thinking skills, they don't realize what they're doing. And that is helping channels that they're fuming about. And this is just another case of that. But for now, that's going to do it for this video.
Yeah, but to be fair, I mean, Nemo has also helped with this to a certain degree. She will get the people that actually like toxic people that act like Nemo. They will find her and find her entertaining by doing this stuff and edge her on. But clearly the community that I am building or that Ref is building is way healthier. I literally got comments where people were surprised that I spoke with them like a normal human being, acolytes. This was just something that I was surprised by, because the person was like, damn, thank you for just listening to me and hearing my points. And I just found the points interesting. It wasn't anything toxic. It wasn't something that I would see inherently as something bad. I just found the point interesting, and even though I disagreed on some of them, we just wrote it down, pointed out our disagreements, and then just went our merry ways. And it was fine. And this is something that I actually quite like. Because I, acolytes, am perfect. But perfection needs some extra points in it sometimes. You know, richtig zuschleifen, as we in Germany say. And, or at least I do. And at the end of the day, I still can change my mind. And I like that it's, if somebody just comes in, actually talks about those things. Of course, there are some people that just go in, spread their bollocks, and then go out. They are worthless. I stopped reacting to those. Because it's just a waste of time. I did this for a time where I just still rage baited them. And at the end of the day, I just realized it's not worth my time. I could do the same thing. I could, instead of rage baiting them, just go in, make another video for those who actually like it, like you. So at the end of the day, hey, it is what it is. Well, I lost a bit of coherence there, but hey, acolytes, if you heard this, dobranoc, or good morning, oder guten Nachmittag. Until next time.